Oh yes, we're going to try this again without me having hiccups. Let's get into a recap review of another ill-fated episode of Sistas. Okay, one of my favorite primetime soap operas with all the messiness. Let's see, where can we go with this? We're going to take it low, we're going to take it high, because I got words for somebody. I got words for somebody. Okay, I have words. Danny then got down to the restaurant and she's day drinking. She didn't tried to call Sabrina, but Sabrina can't come for lunch because she got to work, bills to pay, all that great stuff. And she's also tried to call her therapist, but her therapist isn't answering and she's trying to respect boundaries. So she's day drinking. Why is she day drinking? Because Tony submitting her to the leadership program is gotten to her because she feels like he's trying to change her. And it's just like, well, why can't you accept me for who I am? Do you not love me? Do you not care about me? Is it something wrong with who I am and who I'm supposed to be? Like, is there something wrong with me, girl? I don't think there's anything wrong with you. I think, because Sabrina eventually does come to lunch with her after she realizes that Danny has been day drinking. Shout out to the girls. Okay, just don't get behind a wheel of a car and drive. Make sure you have a designated driver. Don't y'all be out here day drinking and then get behind the wheel. We don't do drunk driving over here, and we don't do texting and driving over here or talking on your phone. 10 and 2 and keep it safe on that road, okay? And if you live in states where it snows and rains and freezes overnight and black ice, just don't get on the road whatsoever. Okay, black ice, terrible, awful, garbage, negative affinity out of 10, wouldn't recommend. But, Sabrina go down there to talk to Danny, and Danny was like explaining everything, and Sabrina's like, listen, maybe he sees something in you that you don't. Maybe he sees that there is greatness behind who you are, and that if you do this leadership program, you could be more than who you are now. But Danny's whole thing is, I'm okay with who I am. I love who I am. I have no issues with who I am, and I love those people. I do. Don't get me wrong. I do love those people who are like, listen, I love me. I love who I am. There's no changing me. I accept who I am and who I'm going to be. I'm one of those people. Would I like to grow and change? Of course, sometimes. But I've come to understand as I've started to get older and my frontal lobe has, fully developed at the age of 26, that I love me. I enjoy myself. Sometimes, she a little annoying and gets on my nerves, but I'm okay with who I am. I just try to do things that would better myself. And I think at some point in Danny's journey, she's going to have to learn to love herself for who she is and be okay with growth and change, because that's what happens to people over time. You grow and you change. Unlike some people who like to stay stunted in their growth and then you turn into egomaniacal dictators. I'll say that. And unfortunately, it's going to be an issue with Tony and Rich, because Rich was down there to the bank trying to get a loan up out of Sabrina by dropping some dick off, thinking he was about to get $100,000 loan for that little juice bar. And Sabrina was having a hard time at work because she's dealing with Maurice and his nemesis Paige, which they're going to be a great little dynamic duo for comedic relief. And eventually they'll probably find common ground because both of them is messy as hell. And Sabrina threatened to fire Maurice if he didn't get it together and stop antagonizing that, blank Word document. She sure did, and told him he would be going back to whatever the show's equivalent is to OnlyFans if he kept this up. So, he's subdued for now. But like I said, Rich was down there to the bank trying to secure a loan of $100,000 for his little ranky-dank juice bar, trying to drop some dick off. But the issue is Sabrina was busy. Like I told y'all, she had to work. She had subordinates to take care of. She couldn't go to lunch. And the only reason why she popped up on Danny is because Danny was day drinking. And you always need to have a designated driver. So it's going to be some issues because Rich is a problem. Tony is a problem. So then we take it to, what's happening with Roots to Riches. I don't believe not nan one of them heifers that came up in there looking like alfalfa by the head that Roots to Riches did that to them, especially because old girl is trying to get $400,000 up out of them, and it's just like the company ain't even really went public yet. It's just the LLC. You're trying to get $400,000 out of them for you looking like alfalfa, but your hair ain't fell out. Your edges could still be slicked back, and it's not even your edges that's messed up. It just looked like you slept without a bonnet or a do-rag on or a scarf. Girl, if you don't get out my face. And then Miss Marie is over there trying to get Hayden to do the paperwork for Roots to Riches, but he's very anti-black and he hates women, and he hates black women. Maybe this is an issue with his mother. Maybe he needs to, take his Uncle Tom ass down there and get him some therapy. I don't know. Maybe it will work. Maybe it won't. But I want Hayden to get the hell up out my face. And Miss Maria was like, you don't know nothing about business. I was in a girl group. And I took that fame and I turned it into a $1 billion record company. Quit playing with me. I didn't make my money off of not taking risk or not believing in black women. So you're going to do this work. And you're also going to thank me with your little raggedy self for allowing you to keep your job or helping you keep your job, because she told Robin to keep him, which honestly, I'm hoping that this is a setup to get rid of Hayden in the future, because he's just god awful. God awful. Okay, and Miss Marita came down to this salon wondering what's going on with this whole Roots to Riches thing, because it's just like, child, this is what? Messy. And Fatima, she's wondering what they was and a kiki about in the office. And once again, Hayden gets beside himself and mentions Lil Michael, calling him a mute and saying getting very disrespectful. And Fatima had to turn into Mama Bear on him. And it's just like, all right, you keep talking. Listen, you thought the way she put hands on you for talking crazy to her and Zach was crazy. Just think about what she gonna do to you for talking about Michael. Oh my God, and Michael said something. He asked for some nuggets. Shout out to him. Fatima went home for lunch, and her and Zach are still trying to figure out who's trying to take out Scary Gary. On the list now is Hayden, Robin, Miss Marie, because Gary lost her money. So we got new people on the list. And obviously Fatima and Zach are going to do what Fatima and Zach do, and they're going to be Zatima, and they're going to have little cute moments, and also trying to get a little filthy, but child, people got to go to work. Is Zach a house husband? I ain't got no problem with that. I feel like play to your strengths, and if you want to be a house husband, be a house husband. Anyway, then we get into the mess of it all. I told y'all I had words for somebody. So Gary has a seizure, and Hudson flexes his power on, Andy. So Andy can't be in there. Hudson is like, you can't stay here. And he's power of attorney. And it's just like, at some point in time, I want you to take your greasy hair and go somewhere. And you ain't change your clothes. Like, I know we are still in kind of like the same day, which y'all got to get better on that. We are still in the same day. Even on daytime soap operas, we get out of the day. But I want him to change his clothes, because he's sitting here crying and complaining. Shut up. And when, Andy decides that she'll never let another man, manipulate her, or use her, or abuse her, none of that stuff. And I was like, I'm glad you figured that out. You too need some therapy, because at some point in time, you need to learn how to love yourself. This is the message of the day, people. Learn to love yourselves before you get into a relationship. Learn to love you and everything that comes with you. The good, the bad, the ugly, and the indifferent. And also learn to like yourself as well. Because you can love somebody but not like them. You also need to learn to like yourself. The good, the bad, the ugly, the indifferent. And also, please get to know yourself. Please get to know yourself and work on yourself before you decide to get into a relationship with anybody. Because if you don't do those 3 things, you are left susceptible to either being in a very, very bad situation and putting all of your issues on someone else when y'all are supposed to be building together. Either y'all both are trying to fix one another, and that's not great. But Andy texts Jordan. And it's like, maybe you won't come see me. Let me talk to you, all that stuff. And in comes Jordan trailing behind his sister, Penelope, like a little sad puppy dog. Like somebody has kicked him, just as obedient as he wants to be, because that's how he was looking and acting. And Penelope is just yelling and hollering at Andy, talking about, you and Gary think y'all can just ruin people's lives and get us away with it. And Andy's like, what are you talking about? So she proceeds to give ANDI a slap punch. Like, she hits ANDI really hard. And it's like, ANDI, either you need to learn how to fight or you need to hit this bitch upside the head with a pan. I don't know what you're gonna do, but she ain't about to come up in here and be hitting on you and talking to you crazy. Like, she's not the reason for her own fault. Nobody told you up in this penthouse to go with Gary. When ANDI met Jordan, you were already with Gary and very big and pregnant, toting that big belly around with an engagement ring on. And when you found out about him and ANDI, you still decided to stay with this man, even though he was actively sleeping with ANDI and a slew of other women while being with you, all big and pregnant, okay? That's what you did. And when ANDI found this information on him for the things that he had done in his past and was like, girl, you need to get away from him, he's very dangerous, you decided to take you and that baby and that big belly and you toted it, waddled it down to his office and got into it with him, and he pushed you down and made you lose your baby. And you was the one who decided to go to the F, the B, and the I to tell on this man, and you roped ANDI into it. And that is the only reason ANDI ended up back with that man, because then your brother, who was told don't take no money from this man for nothing because it's going to end badly, it's going to cause issues, your brother took money from him, which means he was in y'all lives. And when he felt like, I need to get back at y'all, I need to get ANDI under my thumb again, he set your brother up because your brother was so worried about you. Honestly, Penelope, you deserve to get slapped the fuck up in that penthouse, because it wasn't ANDI who caused all these issues in your life when it pertains to Gary. It was you and your dumb ass brother. Get her out my face. Get out of my face. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to see it no more. Penelope done lost her damn mind. I don't know who that whole thought she was, coming up in there putting hands on ANDI. And y'all don't know, I really don't go up for ANDI, because she always into some mess, she always doing something, and it's always on the rest of us to try to figure out how to get her up out of it. Mainly Fatima. Girl, a slap, she wouldn't have slapped me. Wouldn't have been me. Couldn't have been me. Wouldn't have happened. I don't know who that whole thought she was playing with, but it wouldn't be me. I would have told the F, the B, and the I, Mr. Man, Mr. Agent Man, who got all up and indignant that Penelope is the one you looking for. She the one you looking for. She got the most motive out of all of us. It was her and her brother. Go ahead, get them up, pack them up, get them up out of here. Tyler Perry, pack them up right now. Writer's room, pack them up right now. And with that being said, that was it. That was all. I don't have more to give y'all. I hope y'all liked it. And if you didn't, it's okay. But this was a Sistas recap review, and it's my channel, and I can do what I want over here. If you're new here, or if you're not new here, still like, comment, subscribe, turn your post notifications on, and share me with your people. And if you're not new here and you still don't like the content, still like, comment, subscribe, turn your post notifications on, and share me with your people, because you may not like me, but somebody out there does. If you want to follow me on social media, you want to, shop with my storefront or anything else, hit those links in the description box down below, and I'll see y'all for the